WWE Summerslam is officially this weekend already. Snuck right up on us. WrestleMania feels like it was just yesterday. We got my predictions here today, night one and night two, my winners, what I think is gonna happen, and maybe even like how I think they can move on with each story afterwards. Make sure y'all subscribe if you like the wrestling content. If I can build a wrestling fan base, I'll become a wrestling channel. That's my real true passion. I do love NFL, I do love football, I love playing games, but this is my true North Star. This is what I really, this is my true love right here. So if y'all like it, run it up. Let me build a career off this, and I promise I'll spoil y'all with the greatest wrestling content on YouTube. First up, we got the Bloodline versus LA Knight, Royce Keys, and Solo Sikoa. I do got the Bloodline winning this. I do unfortunately think Solo turns on Royce and LA. I believe that should not happen. I think Solo has been perfect in the role he's been playing. He is such a good natural baby face. I don't know why they would take him out of that role. Unfortunately, they just have this nostalgic act and nostalgic fever for the Bloodline, and they truly think that they're going to solve all their issues like that. I mean, I do hope this match gets at least 10 to 12 minutes. I'm really scared it's going to have the WrestleMania effect where the longest match is like 6 minutes if it's not the main event. That would be very unfortunate, especially for some of the matches later on this card. And one match in particular that we'll get to on night two, which I think could steal the entire show. I do think the Bloodline picks this one up. LA Knight and Royce Keys are going to be left in the dust as the real losers, the only two real losers. I do think those two end up being in the War Games match in November uh, versus the Bloodline. Next up, we got the 6-woman tag: Nikki Bella, Brie Bella, and Paige versus Fatal Influence. I don't know. Fatal Influence should win, but with Nikki Bella just coming back, I could totally see the WWE swinging that way for nostalgia, for money, for whatever they really want. It is their call at the end of the day. I mean, we'll see. I truly believe that Fatal Influence needs the win. It kind of adds on to the legacy. They just won the titles from them in Madison Square Garden, and probably one of the only good things that happened that night, other than Bayley and Lyra. And that tag match in the main event was pretty good. But I do think Fatal Influence should win. My prediction though is going to be Nikki, Brie, and Paige, because I just think that they are the favorites here. Quick feel good win for the crowd to get them moving. I do think this should open the show. If it's anywhere else, I don't think this match can follow any other match on the card, if that makes sense. And I don't think it should follow any other match on the card. Up next, we got a match I am so excited for. Gunther versus Nick Aldis. Oh my goodness. I just listened to the Chris Van Vliet interview with Nick Aldis earlier today, and I am so excited to see this man work. I know he's not no Osprey. He's not no AJ Styles. He ain't no Kenny Omega. Hell, he ain't no Seth Rollins. He ain't no, he ain't even no John Moxley, maybe. I'm not sure. When I was younger, like 10-ish, I did like Magnus. I hated Magnus, but I hated him because he was a heel. I didn't hate him because he was a bad worker. I hated him. I was a kid. I believed it all still and everything. So I do remember Magnus from TNA. I didn't watch any of his Nick Aldis stuff, to be honest. And like NWA, the 10 pounds of gold stuff they talked about in his 1,000 plus day title reign as NWA champion. I never watched any of that personally. I do think him and Gunther can put something on special. Gunther can put something on special with anybody, which is kind of my point. Gunther has to win. That's bottom line. Gunther has to win this match. There's no way Nick Aldis can get away with winning this match. I do understand that Nick Aldis isn't a chump. It's not like he's losing to Pat McAfee or something stupid like that. But in the eyes of most people that are going to be watching this, Nick Aldis is the dude that's been the GM of SmackDown for nearly 3 years now. He's not, NWA, TNA, world champion Magnus / Nick Aldis. Gunther should win. He's going to win. I'm excited for what these guys can do. I'm so excited to see Nick Aldis in the ring and to see what he brings. And again, I know he's not his in-ring, work rate guy who's so good and awesome, but the passion he had in that interview, man, it's got me going. I really think he's going to pull out all the stops here to really put himself over and put Gunther over. you know, at the same time, but I will be going with Gunther. Next up, we got Liv Morgan versus Io Sky for the WWE Women's World Championship. And this one gets a little fishy. But we all know the curse is probably the most protected thing in WWE right now. Liv Morgan is cursed. However, I still think Liv Morgan wins. I'm recording this on Thursday night. I know they're not on Friday Night SmackDown. I could maybe see them running out or something happening, on Friday Night SmackDown with them to where she gets uncursed. I think that there's going to be something in the, pre-show of SummerSlam that's going to lead to maybe Danhausen accidentally uncursing Liv Morgan, leading to her, being able to pull off the win. Kind of like how in the pre-show to WrestleMania on night 2, I believe it was night 2, the Finn and Dom match actually got changed in the holds barred. They did that on the pre-show, so clearly they're not scared to do little things that will affect the card on the pre-show. So I do think Liv Morgan wins this match, even though she's technically cursed or whatever. I don't see them having her lose in her first match, defending the world championship to Io Sky. Io Sky is probably the best all-around wrestler on the card and in the company, possibly. Unfortunately, that doesn't really mean everything to WWE. And I mean, it shouldn't mean everything, but it should mean more than I feel like what it does. So I'm going to go with Liv Morgan. I don't know where they go with Liv Morgan after this. Maybe she can, actually feud with someone. I know Stephanie's probably coming back soon. They probably want to go down that. I'm sure that'll be a couple month feud. Maybe even that leads into War Games. Judgment Day, I'm sure will be part of War Games. Judgment Day versus Stephanie Vaquer, Io Sky, Rhea Ripley, blah, blah, blah. I'm sure they're going to go with something like that. Yeah. Once again, Liv Morgan. I think this is going to be a fun one. Once again, they need to get time. That's really all I'm worried about. Yeah. Up next, the match I am most excited for all weekend long, and maybe all month long. It might rank right below Ospreay Omega in Wembley, but this match, oh my goodness, I am so excited for it. Oba Femi versus Brock Lesnar, Hell in a Cell. Man, I'm scared. I am so scared. This match is going to go under 10 minutes. I'm so scared this match is going to end with Brock winning. I'm so scared this match is not going to be a real Hell in a Cell match. I'm scared they're not going to interact with the cell at all. I'm scared they're not going to, go out of the ring at all. They're not going to do any cool spots with the cell, blah, blah, blah. I'm scared about a lot in this match. But at the end of the day, as long as Oba Femi wins, and I do think Oba Femi's going to win, and that is going to be my prediction here, is Oba Femi taking it. I will be able to watch the rest of the show a happy man. I do think this opens the show. I think this opens the weekend. I think they start with a bang. They haven't announced it's going to be free on ESPN yet, like on cable. So that would be nice. I don't know if that would matter at all, but those matches seem to get cut. They kind of seem to be, cookie cutter TV matches. They don't really seem to get the leeway that the other real main card matches get. So as long as it's not free on ESPN, I do think we're going to get a banger between Brock and Oba, and Oba better win. I do think Oba's going to win. You don't get anything if Brock wins. If Brock wins, it's Brock Lesnar. He's still Brock Lesnar. He's always going to be Brock Lesnar. Oba Femi needs to win. He has put in work to get to this point. His NXT run was phenomenal. I was tuning into NXT like I was tuning into SmackDown in 2021 to watch the Tribal Chief. That's what I was doing to watch Oba Femi in NXT. He has aura. I feel it in my body. This dude makes my bong bong go wong wong. If you know what I'm saying, I need them to deliver something special here. I don't need none of that. I don't need a squash match. I don't want to. I want them to go 15-20. And people are going to be, oh, Oba Femi going 15-20 minutes. Go watch NXT. Go watch Oba Femi versus Wesley. Go watch Oba Femi versus Dragon Lee. Go watch Oba Femi versus Miles Bourne. Hell, now people are probably saying, oh, those are all high. Go watch Oba Femi versus Moose. That's a fucking banger. That's such a good match. Oba Femi versus Moose is such a good match. That's my favorite Moose match for sure. My favorite Oba Femi match. I don't. That's up there for favorite Obafemi match. I am gonna go Obafemi. I do think he wins. I think he needs to win. I hope this goes 15 to 20 minutes. I hope they absolutely tear the place down. I hope they're getting thrown into the cell. I hope they're ripping panels of the cell off and throwing them at each other. And, they're going through the cell and it's just a fucking bloodbath. And this could be match of the night for sure. Maybe match of the weekend, even. Next up, we got our main event of night one. The challenger Cody Rhodes going up against the champion CM Punk for the undisputed WWE Championship. I just call it the WWE Championship. Why is it so called the undisputed? That doesn't make sense. CM Punk's gonna win, I think. I don't know. I don't see him letting Cody win. If Cody wins, it's gonna get really, really stale. I'm not getting sick of Cody. I do love Cody. I think what Cody's done is phenomenal since coming back. Him finishing the story is my favorite wrestling moment ever, and I stand on that. I've never felt emotion like that since I started watching wrestling. That was the greatest moment literally ever to me. I was damn near in tears. I was naked. I didn't have clothes on. I was jumping around naked. My tits and meat were flapping around. But as of late, it just seems like he loses it. He wins it. He loses it. He wins it. It happened. Well, I know it only happened twice, but if it happens again and he gets his fourth belt off of some nonsense like that, I don't know how much longer I could be okay with that. And he's already interacted with everyone. Unless he wins and turns heel, which would be fucking mind blowing. And I don't think they would do that on a night one. If Cody was turning heel, I really do believe they would have him on night two. That would be cool though, however. I just don't see it happening. What I do think is very plausible, maybe even super possible, is Punk turning heel on Cody to retain his title, and they could tell a story of he just lost his title. He doesn't want to go through that again. It just took him out of the game that he loves for months. He had a missed time. They could go with I was so embarrassed to show my face. I couldn't deal with losing it again. I had to do this, Cody. They could turn Punk heel. I think Punk's better as a heel. I do enjoy Punk better when he is a heel. Because when he's a heel, he's more, I feel like he's more himself. My favorite Punk, I guess, would be like that tweener Punk, that 2011 Punk, when he is a heel, but he still beats up heels. He does whatever he really wants. He's CM Punk. That would probably be my favorite Punk. The build of this match has just been lackluster and really bad. If I was to rank the the builds for night one, I might have this really low. I would have it probably. I would probably go. So my top built feud, I would go Oba versus Brock. And then I would go Bloodline versus Knight, Keys, and Solo. And then I'd go Gunther Aldis. And then probably Bella's Fatal Influence, because at least there's history there. We know why they're fighting. Liv Morgan and Io Sky is going to be the way bottom. They've only built it through Danhausen. But right above them would be Punk and Rhodes for the build. Because they at least, I don't know. At least it's not being built through another person's feud, if you know what I mean. Like, it doesn't really progress anywhere, but at least they're doing something. Because Io and Liv are literally doing nothing. They're building their feud through Danhausen and Dom running around. That doesn't even make sense. So I am going to go Punk here for this main event for the WWE Championship. I think Punk could be very, very fun. There is another match on night two that we're about to talk about next that I think could lead to some cool stuff here. That's my final prediction for night one. Let's move on to night dos. Moving on to night two, we got Finn Balor versus Sami Zayn for a number one contenders match. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you, WWE, for finally doing some cool shit like this. Putting a cool ass match on the card that's not, a slot match. It's just gonna be good graps for a reason. And we know why they're fighting. They're fighting because they want to win the WWE Championship. And in order to win it, you gotta get the match. My prediction is gonna be Finn Balor. Now hear me out. I know Sammy was just world champion, and they probably want Sammy to look good considering he just lost a belt. Nah, 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 blah, 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 blah. Hear me out. Finn Balor is gonna be a face when he beats Sami Zayn. He's a face now. I said previously I do see Punk turning heel. They ran this back in, I want to say, February, maybe March, it could have been at Chamber, but it was reversed. Punk was the face, Balor was the heel. I think this is a way better matchup. I think Balor as a face, Punk as the heel. We could really get serious, a serious feud there. And I could almost see Balor winning it. It could be hot potatoed from Balor back to Punk right away if they're trying to inflate numbers or whatever. Give Balor a feel good win. Uh, give him the world title again. We're not going to be close to anything. We're not close to Mania after this. Who knows when these guys, do have this match? It could just be on an episode of SmackDown. I do see Balor winning this. I don't think he's going to win the world title. Don't get me wrong. I'm going to go with Balor. I think the story is just more fun that way. Moving on, we got the interim WWE Women's Championship ladder match between Charlotte Flair, Jade Cargill, Tiffany Stratton, Chelsea Green, and then whoever wins between Julia and Lash Legend Friday night on SmackDown. I am recording this on Thursday night, so I'm still not sure who's going to be in the match. I'm going to say it's going to be Lash Legend. I do think she's going to win that qualifier. When it comes to the actual match, I think these women could they could do something special here. I see Tiffy and Chelsea just being the spot monkeys in this match. I could see them, I just think they're going to go out there, do some cool spots, do some high spots. I'm sure Tiffy will dive off a ladder into, the group of the girls or whatever she always does. Chelsea will probably get hit off some tall shit. I see Charlotte Flair winning. That's going to be my prediction is Charlotte Flair. I see them running Charlotte Flair. You could do a little mini feud with Jade Cargill or something in a solo feud. When Rhea gets back, that's money. Money is Charlotte Flair versus Rhea Ripley. It's going to sell every time. I'm going to buy it every time. I'm going to watch every time. Who wouldn't watch? WrestleMania 39, my favorite women's match ever. Charlotte Flair versus Rhea Ripley. I'm going to go Charlotte Flair here in what I think is going to be a spectacle of a match. All right, Trick Williams going in as the United States champion, taking on a returning Baron Corbin, the dietitian himself. Trick Williams wins. Hopefully, he better win this match. I don't see them giving it to Baron Corbin. He just came back. This could have been, I'm not sure if the contract Baron Corbin signed was, hey, we're going to give you less money, but we're going to let you, return on SummerSlam or something like that. I know they've had weird contracts recently. I could see something like that, being the reason why this match is the way this match is. I do really believe that it's going to be Trick. Now, like I said, it's Thursday night right now. Tomorrow night, Carmelo Hayes could get added to the triple threat. And then if Carmelo Hayes gets added to this match and it comes a triple threat, I got Carmelo Hayes winning all day, all night, 24/7, pinning Baron Corbin. And that could be the way they get the title off Trick without killing all of his momentum. I am going to go with Trick. I think it's going to be an 8-minute match, blah, blah, blah. Get him out there, get a match on the card. Get Trick on the card because you want Trick Williams on the card because why wouldn't you? We got a controversial one here. Danhausen versus Dominic Mysterio. Human money's on a pole. What year is it? We got a human money's on a pole match in 2020-26. I don't know how to feel about this match. I do love goofy wrestling, as Simon Miller always says. Shout out Simon Miller. Goofy wrestling for life. Love Danhausen and everything that he's done. I loved his debut. I think I'm the only one in the world that loved that. It was pretty obvious it was him with, I think it was Adam Pearce. Why is my name spelled wrong? As soon as it said that, I figured it was Danhausen. So I guess maybe I enjoyed it because I kind of just knew that's who it was going to be. I didn't get my hopes up for it to be like The Rock or Chris Jericho. Why would they be in a box? People were just setting themselves up for failure. I think Danhausen actually out of that box was one of the better options we could have gotten because at least it wasn't an ad for like steak or, rain bet or something like that. The tomfoolery in this match is just going to be ridiculous. And I know that. And I'm okay with that, I think, if it doesn't get too crazy. I do see Jetta's getting involved. Justin Jefferson, I totally see him coming out. probably costing Dominic the match because I'm sure Danhausen's going to win. He's like the most hardly pushed guy in the company right now. I do think Danhausen's going to win. That's going to be my prediction, and I'm going to say it's going to be with the help of Justin Jefferson. I don't think that's crazy to say. They are in Minnesota. I mean, it would be crazy. I could almost see him getting Anthony Edwards. I know he's not. I don't know if he's the kind of guy to do something like this. And Jefferson was in the commercials and stuff, so I totally see him getting involved. Other celebrities probably too. I could see Ryan Garcia getting involved. I see Justin Jefferson hitting Ryan Garcia with a chair. I totally see that because that's going to go viral. That's going to get views from a bunch of different communities and fan bases, and that's really all WWE wants lately is as much views and whatever they can get. I'm gonna go Danhausen. I hope it's goofy in a really good way and not in a Joe Hendry and Danhausen segment way on Monday Night Raw. I hope it's fun. Only give them 10 to 12 minutes. I don't want this one going 20. Don't drag it out. Don't make it, a chore to watch. Danhausen with the victory. Dominic has shit going on in AAA with El Grande. He's going to go lose the title to El Grande here soon. And, he's going to move on. I'm not sure what Dom's going to do after this, honestly, in the main roster. He's kind of running out of shit to do. It's kind of getting bleak for Dom. At one point, it looked like the next big thing, but people's time comes and people's times go, and we'll see what they do with both these guys. Danhausen will be continued to get pushed to the moon. We're going Danhausen in 4. Next up, I'm getting excited. My loins are tingling. My trousers are raised just thinking about the chance to watch this match, baby. Praise the Lord. We got the champion Penta going into the Challengers hometown Chad Gable Intercontinental Championship match. Penta, Chad Gable, IC title, Chad Gable's hometown. Chad Gable became El Grande Americano because he was trying to master the dark arts of Lucha Libre. Why did he want to master the dark arts of Lucha Libre? Oh, yeah, because Penta was beating him and he couldn't find a way to beat Penta. Why was he in a bad spot to begin with? Because he turned heel. Why did he turn heel? Because he couldn't win the IC title. There's no shot they did this shit on purpose. And if they don't give Chad Gable the title on Sunday night in Minnesota, I will boycott the company for the rest of my days. Now listen, I love Penta as much as the next guy. It's just Chad Gable's night. And please, WWE, if you see this, you won't. If you hear me, you won't. 20 minutes minimum. 20 minutes minimum. Minimum. MIN. I can't spell the rest of it. 20 minutes. Give these two 20 minutes. You've seen what Chad Gable can do. You know what Penta can do. They gave Chad Gable, what was it, 40-ish minutes. It was a crazy amount of time over in AAA mask versus match with Ludwig, El Grande Americano versus El Grande Americano, mask versus match. Ugh, fucking buttful to say. And you've seen Gable cook because Gable just does that when you give him a chance. Him versus Vikingo in AAA. It was 5 stars. It was my favorite match probably that month and maybe even of the year last year. I believe it was last year. Could have been 2 years ago in the WWE. It was better than anything on Money in the Bank that day. I can tell you that for sure. I couldn't even remember Money in the Bank much that year. I believe it was just last year. So that's when Seth won. The Cena and Logan tag, like that wasn't nothing special. Gable and Vikingo stole that entire day. Give these two 20 minutes, AAA style Intercontinental Championship match. Promise you, WWE, you are going to be getting praised for the rest of eternity for this match, and you do it at a big show at SummerSlam, and I promise this will be getting replayed for the rest of the time. Chad Gable, final prediction, lock that shit in. And last but not least, we got the World Heavyweight Championship match with the challenger Seth freaking Rollins going up against the champion, the Tribal Chief Roman Reigns. A few things about this one. Better be no interference. No interference. I don't want no bloodline interference. I don't want, for some reason, the Street Profits, Joe Hendry. I don't want the Bloodline getting involved at all, and then I'm scared that they're going to get involved, and that's going to lead to the Profits and Hendry coming out to stop them, or LA Knight, Royce Keys, blah blah blah, coming out to stop them. We don't need that. We really don't. I see them getting nearly 30 for this match. I see them getting a really, really long time. Time wise, to be honest, WWE sees this as like their top feud and as a money grab. I don't want to see a million Shield moments. I'm sorry. I know. I'm a bad guy. That was what? 12 years ago, I think. 11 years ago. Like that was forever. 10 years ago, it was 2016. They were like years removed from the Shield shit already. It's 2026. I don't want to hear Shield bomb. I don't want to hear Shield chair. I don't want to hear, oh my God, it's the Shield fist. I don't want Seth coming out in Shield gear again. We've seen it. It's all overplayed. Just let these two guys with crazy history and crazy chemistry that we know can go in and they can go for a good amount of time. Just tell a good story in the match of, one guy that has just historically owned the other on pay-per-view and when it matters. And that's Seth Rollins over Roman Reigns. Tell a story of I want Seth to be dominant for a portion of this match. I want it to look like Roman really can't do it because it kind of changes of heel and face in this feud, but it does seem Seth's leaning towards heel more than Roman's leaning towards heel. I do think they have Roman more of a face because they're kind of like he is the face of whatever he did. Play the face role in that Saturday night's main event segment with Brunson and Halliburton. So let him be like, rise up from the bottoms, like, oh, he really can't do it, blah, blah, blah. In the end, he's going to do it. Roman Reigns is going to win. That's bottom line. He's definitely going to win. I don't want Seth Rollins as champion again. I've seen that enough lately. There would be nothing new. I do think there's a lot left in the bone for Roman as champion. I want to see some special matches out of Roman. I want to see Roman versus Penta for the world title at a B pay-per-view. I know we're not going to get that, but that would be very fun. Roman versus Gable at a B pay-per-view. These are the matches they should be doing. Unfortunately, I do think they're going to be stuck with the bloodline and blah, blah, blah. I could see Roman facing Solo for the title, and they're just going to run back like, whatever. You're going to beat me. You're in the bloodline now. Like they did with Fatu. I really hope this is a fun one. I think it's going to be a fun one. I am excited for this match. The build's not been very good at all. But at the end of the day, Roman Reigns is definitely going to win. I don't see a world where Roman loses, if that makes any sense. It's just better for Roman to win because, like I said, there's so much more that Roman could do. So, yeah, Roman Reigns retains the championship. I do believe he's going to drop it to Oba at WrestleMania unless one more thing happens. Final prediction. End of the video. It's always a hot topic around these big shows. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Will The Rock return? No. The Rock ain't coming back, guys. It's not happening. I see it, buffering on social media. It's not. The Rock's not coming back. Get over it. Get over yourself. He's not coming back. I promise he's not coming back. I asked him. He said no. But he doesn't need to come back. He knows that. The only thing that would make him come back would be if he's coming back at the end of the show to set up a match for Saudi Mania, because those are the only guys that are going to have more money than The Rock. I don't think The Rock comes back, though. I think Roman wins. I think Roman wins clean. And I do think the show ends with just Roman hoisting the belt up as champion. Santi Zap, shout out the GOAT, Santi. He said something about Oba possibly coming out to confront Roman in his predictions video, and I could totally see that. And oh my God, I would rip my clothes off my body if that happened. Good Lord. That would be next level. I wouldn't even. I would shut down. Oh my Lord. Yeah, but yeah, oh my, I'm just getting excited thinking about that. I doubt that happens. I think the closing shot, Roman holding the belt up, Minnesota acknowledging the tribal chief. But yeah, those are my SummerSlam 2026 predictions, officially taking place this weekend, August 1st, August 2nd in Minnesota. Let me know what y'all thought about this video. If y'all rocking with wrestling predictions, if y'all, just came here from maybe I post this on TikTok, get a clip or two out. Y'all come from that. Y'all enjoyed the video. I love posting about wrestling. I love talking about wrestling. It's my true passion. It's what I believe I was put on this earth to do. It's my North Star. I'll say it again. Oh, I could talk about this for hours. I'm going to be making more wrestling videos. I know my content's varied right now. I'm just starting out. It does go from college football to random games to back to college football and now wrestling predictions when I haven't done anything wrestling related in the past. But it's all going to work out, I think. And eventually, I think we're going to have a good base here. If this is what takes off, I would be so happy just to be a wrestling content creator and be able to grow a career as a wrestling content creator. That would be, a dream come true for me. Yeah, let me know what y'all think about my predictions, and I will be, I'll be putting a review on Monday, reviewing the show, reviewing SummerSlam, and we'll see what the future holds for the Ringski YouTube channel. But I promise, whatever it is, we gonna do it big. I'm gonna do my big one, and we gonna be great. Thank you. Subscribe, and I'll catch you later.